Like, this is the kind of shit you say when you haven't even typed the word bankruptcy into the Google search and read the first result. Exactly. Everybody says Billy's this meanie because he sues people who say shit, whatever. And he got Apollo Legend to take down one video. Well, now Carl's trying to take down this guy's whole fucking channel. On potentially false info he himself intentionally leaked. Yeah.
Remember,
no, I'm just going to be a Flaggot. Basically, I don't want this to go to court because I'd lose, because there would actually be a true, there would be like discovery, there would be a true investigation into the truth of the claims. So I'm just going to abuse YouTube's shitty flagging system and send my weird fans that are subscribed to my my 10 billion post Pornhub account to flag it down. So what's fun? So Billy has finally seen some of the work that's been on the thread here. This is a post is from today, but this actual account was found actually a couple weeks ago. It's just now getting reported on again that Karl Jobst, apropos of nothing in his Discord, is talking about coming in bathtubs and the porn he likes and sharing his Pornhub account like it's fucking LinkedIn, like hook up with me on Pornhub, and how he has 4 terabytes of pornography and stuff. And it's like, this is why I didn't even explain in my Billy Mitchell Jobs video. I don't even need to explain the history between these guys. I don't need to explain like Billy Mitchell cheating. I don't need to explain Karl Jobst and all of his investigations, because there's just stuff like this where you look at it and it's like, whose side are you really going to be on here? The guy with 4 terabytes of porn, or the guy who the guy who, just looking at him, you're like, this guy's a king with his American flag tie, right? Who just sells his hot sauce, the humble hot sauce merchant, okay? So this like Pornhub account is literally like 10 years old, has like 1 trillion videos watched. It's just absolutely like mega gooner, very virginal. Like, this guy's married and he's a porn addict. What does that tell you? Okay. It's like I said, Ethan has proof that he's had reproductive intercourse with his wife. I guess Karl does too, because he has a son that he literally called Maximus when his last name is Wong. So it's Maximus Wong. This is the guy. You think this is the good guy? No, okay. And the other thing he did, which is like just mega stupid, is he decided to, here it is. He like talks about shit that you would only ever talk about with your lawyer. Like people who have a legal obligation to not leak your shit. He just talks about it on his Discord as it's happening. And so look, he talks about how he's basically going to try to get out of paying the settlement that he lost, because he's moving assets around. He moved his like house and his company. He's an employee for his company, which is the YouTube channel that his mom is the director, or his wife is the director. And I'll tell you this, you must have literally never, like, this is the kind of shit you say when you haven't even typed the word bankruptcy into the Google search and read the first result. Because I understand it's Australia, so it might not be exactly the same as in America, but in America, the way bankruptcy works is when you declare bankruptcy, the court hires a lawyer called a trustee. And the purpose of the trustee is essentially to get on your ass and research all your shit, get all of your paperwork, get all of your financial information, and make sure everything's accounted for. And then they get like a percentage of the bankruptcy, right? And that's their whole job, is to make sure that like this doesn't work. And there's a simple rule that like just blows all this out of the water, at least in America, which is that any property transfer, any equity transfer within 5 years of a bankruptcy is investigated and counts as yours. So if a year before I go bankrupt, I give my boat to my wife, or, how about my YouTube channel to my wife, that's still considered your asset because it was within 5 years of a bankruptcy. So like, this is just ridiculous. And so he puts this in his server that he knows is getting leaked, because this is week 2 of his whole Discord being leaked, right? And so then this guy, Luss, reports on it in one of his videos. And to be clear, this guy also appears to be severely mentally ill. He's like a former lawyer, but if you like his video, his channel description just screams like, this is like a Chris Chan type. It's like very hyper specific and autistic. I mean, good for him that he retired at 36. That's cool, whatever. But like, just his entire life story, like in exact detail, and these they, them, theirs. So, but whatever, man. If this guy's a weirdo, he doesn't deserve to have his channel flagged down, which is exactly what Karl threatened to do. Because this guy's been covering Karl, like all this stuff. He made a video where basically he talked about these leaks and is like, basically just said everything I just said, but better, because he's actually like a practicing lawyer, right? And explain like why it won't work, right? And so then Karl says, I'm going to report him to YouTube. He's a Flaggot. He's going to flag him down. You'd think this guy would know that never works. This guy's been on the internet. He's seen like this happen over and over and over again. Whoever becomes a Flaggot always loses. And, you know, for as like kind of cringe and mentally ill as this guy is, he kind of has a pretty based response here where he's just like, fuck you.
Info for your lawyer. Like, Karl doesn't get it, man. Like, he thinks you guys are stupid. He thinks you guys are stupid. He thinks I don't have access to this shit. Right?
He's referring to the fact that all he did was just look up the public records for Karl's business, which is all it took. Like, this is publicly accessible information. And, you know, there's a theory that's being floated that essentially Karl intentionally said this stupid shit on his server, hoping someone would report on it so that he could flag them. So he's like putting out fake info to like flag people. If there ends up being proof of that, dude, this guy thought that his shit was getting rocked because of lying about the Billy Mitchell lawsuit and stuff. That's going to be apocalyptic because that's like fucking fraud, like straight up fraud.
He doesn't think I have access to
like specifically, it would be a claim of tortious interference. If you are putting out fake info so someone reports on it so that you can flag them and interfere with their ability to make money.
Court document. Look, man, I'm just going to say this. Karl, if this channel goes down, it is because of Karl Jobst. It is because of Karl Jobst. If this channel is deleted. Billy did not try to delete Karl's channel.
Exactly. Everybody says Billy's this meanie because he sues people who say shit. Whatever, and he got Apollo Legend to take down one video. Well, now Karl's trying to take down this guy's whole fucking channel on potentially false info he himself intentionally leaked.
Remember the whole idea of why Billy is, quote, so evil is that Apollo Legend had to take down some of his videos. Mother effer, you are trying to take down my entire channel, Karl. Karl, do you not see what you've become? I was a huge fan of yours, Karl. Do you not see what the whole issue that Karl was saying, why Billy Mitchell is so bad of a guy and so on, about Apollo Legend was focused on one item. It was focused on the fact that Apollo Legend had to take down videos about Billy Mitchell. Mother effer, this guy's trying to take down my whole channel. Karl has become what he hated most, but even worse than that. Karl won't even show. I'm live right now, Karl. The reason I went live early is because I know you're active on your Discord.
Based.
I know you are currently active on your Discord. Even a few moments ago when I went live, you were active on your Discord. I can prove it here. Karl says, so he says this. To accuse me intentionally doing is just ironically defamation.
Yeah, to accuse me so this is the claim that he might have leaked it intentionally.
I won't take action on it given the fact I've accused others of crimes before, too. However, at least in this regard, I didn't fabricate shit out of my ass. Literally, I read his own statements.
Yeah, that's literally all he did was read his Discord messages.
All I did, and then I gave commentary on these statements. He is saying he is going to sue me for defamation. But he doesn't have the money. I guess he's so generous, he's not going to sue me for defamation. Look, dude, I mean, at the end of the day, you got no money, Karl Jobst. You are in a really vulnerable position. If somebody does sue you, i.e. me or Gerard, how are you going to afford a lawyer? You're mother effing in bankruptcy court right now. And so instead, because this is how Karl works, right? I can sue you, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to talk about targeted harassment by YouTube standards.
Yeah, no, I'm just going to be a Flaggot. Basically, I don't want this to go to court because I'd lose, because there would actually be a true, there would be like discovery, there would be a true investigation into the truth of the claims. So I'm just going to abuse YouTube's shitty flagging system and send my weird fans that are subscribed to my 10 billion post Pornhub account to flag it down. And, you know, like, okay, I get it. This guy is like autistic. Well, honestly, him being autistic is his best attribute, right? Because the autism is the lubrication of the sector. But this guy's kind of like cringe and he's kind of a weirdo. But like, he's completely in the right here. Getting flagged is stupid. He's making his making his shit. And
yeah, give me the name of the hotel you stayed at, Billy Mitchell.
Mega Gay by Karl.
The Airbnb. It might be, you know, a week into, right? He literally tried to bait me into lying about the completionist suing him. Like, this is why, like, can you read this, guys? Like, I do not know how this man can live at night. Like, I do not know what evidence he has of defamation.
Evidence.
But he says he can win.
Photographic evidence.
But because he's such a nice guy, Karl Jobst is a nice guy, he's not going to take action, given the fact I've accused others of crimes before too. However, at least in that regard, I didn't fabricate shit out of my ass. Actually, Karl, the court where you live in found out you did fabricate the shit out of your ass. Like, if this channel goes down, I want every one of you guys to know who did it. It was Karl Jobst. It was Karl Jobst. Yes, he's claimed this multiple times. If you go on the Discord channel, I have some more screenshots. He's claiming I targeted, harassed him. A man who has done far, far worse to Billy Mitchell and to Gerard. He is claiming targeted harassment because he doesn't like my videos. Let's see. No worries. I remember you're a victim of misinformation. What an effort. You're a victim of the misinformation you said, you idiot. You're a victim of misinformation, which breeds cyberbullying. What do you think you've been doing this whole time to Billy Mitchell? What the hell do you think you've been doing this entire time to Billy Mitchell? You are a victim of misinformation, which breeds cyberbullies. What? This is Karl Jobst, my dude. Okay? And again, like I said, if our video goes down, if my channel goes down, this is Karl Jobst, 100% Karl Jobst doing. He says right here, bankrupt, however, what Lust does constitutes, I'm so mad right now, harassment by YouTube standards. Let's see. What do you mean? Harassment by YouTube standards. I have tax debt also. What do you mean? Okay, so I'm trying to find the thing right now. Okay, here. Okay, so this is a screenshot. I will report him to YouTube. I will speak to my YouTube partner. I will report you to YouTube. Okay. Like, what in the world is happening? You know, like, a man who has ruined at least 2 people's lives, and then there's also the expert witness's lives, is going to report me for harassment to YouTube, when all I have been doing is covering him as neutral as possible. Yes, Karl is silencing the critics. Isn't this like the Logan Paul versus CoffeeZilla? What an effort. Like, any time a YouTuber has tried to silence a critic, it has gone incredibly wrong, Karl. You should know this. You are a YouTuber. I don't know what the hell AI is telling you right now, but holy shit, Karl, you should know what you just stepped into.
Yeah, and I completely agree. You never win. With Flaggots, you lose. Like, you're never going to win. Because even if you get it successful, even if you craft some fucking narrative, nobody likes it when you take people down just for talking about you. So I think the Karl stuff's going to get worse before it gets better. I think that most of the bankruptcy stuff's going to come out because it's going to be made public because there's a public interest now, and it's just going to get worse. Yeah. To Karl Jobst, speedrunning locale data. Well, okay, there's an argument to be made that Karl Jobst actually has the fastest growing thread in QB Farm's history. Some guy was trying to do the math about that in the theory, or in the thread. Because he went from not having a thread to like 200 pages in a day or something like that. So maybe he'll finally get a record that is not him beating Goldeneye and being pat on the head by his wife and staring at the floor.